What's groovy, y'all? What's gravy? We will wait, as we usually do, for about 3 or 4 minutes until people show up, and then we will continue on with the talk about purpose. That's a good one. A lot of people have asked me about this. They've asked me a few questions, and so we'll see what we can add to this. Interesting words, service and purpose. Who is in here? Fire Drake, go for it. Ask me a question. Chop that shit down, yo. Chop that motherfucking tree down. Ask me a question. As there across the street is a tree service right now, cutting down some trees right now. It's a chipper over there. I used to do tree work for a little bit. What do I know about Jägermeister? Do you mean like historicity of it, the emblem, or just the have I drank it? Oh, I've drank Jägermeister, but it's not. It's a good beverage, but I mean, what you want to know about it? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It is. It's connected to the deer. Look at the deer, and then I mean, so there's they knew what they were doing. If you're gonna put 35 botanicals in something, there's something good there. Yeah, the deer god, huh? Exactly. Yeah, Jägermeister is that's a different beast, man. Jägermeister that's ooh-wee. I mean, for me, I would prefer the varietal of gin because it's in that kind of category. It's just like when it's too sweet and thick and syrupy. It's like it's a proper medicine. It should. Like I don't want to sit down and drink Jägermeister all night. I wouldn't want to sit down with somebody and drink Jägermeister because it's too medicinal. It's really to be like you do a shot of it and you're good. Yeah, there's way too much stuff in it. Yeah. I mean, Jägermeister is strong stuff. I mean, because once you cleanse it up, you cleanse yourself out a little bit, and all of a sudden you got 35 really intense elements in your system. Yeah, that's medicine, man. It's like old granddad, old pappy. Well, thank you. Oh, you guys didn't see this? This is my hoodie. Check it out. Even got the hoodie on the inside and the outside. This is over here. It's got all the good on it. I'll show you. Pretty fresh, right? So that's all hoodie about. This is a luxury item. It's right now the weather out is I don't really need a hoodie, but I really like this. I'm happy that it's cool enough where I can wear it, but I don't really need to. I don't really live in a climate where I could get to wear this too often, so I'll wear it on those borderline warm, cold days. I'll make an excuse that it'll probably be cold tonight, so just in case I stay out for a while. Ouroboros. Yes. So these little ants running around this table, and I'm looking at them like, should I just squash them, or should I just let them be? They're not really bothering me, but like I don't want them to get into my phone case and then take them home, and then they reproduce rapidly, and I have a whole house of ants. I'll let them stay. We'll let them be. Overlording the ants. Fire Jake, what kind of gin is what's up, Torin? What's up, man? 33.3, and it's 13 people and 3 thumbs, right? So you got that too. Lord of the Ants, Lord of the Flies, Lord of the Ants. Yeah, yeah. What's up, Blinken? Kush to neck? What do you mean? It's Kush to neck. You are Kush to neck? Fire Drake. You do a review on that? Cool. Blue bottle distilled with the flaming copper. Huh. I don't know. I don't know too many blue bottle gins. Charles IV from Prague. So I guess there's some people here. I was meditating on those words because people have, you know, a lot of people are like, what is my life's purpose? Right, this is everybody. What is my life's purpose? What am I here for? And you got people that are always like, be in service to others. And then you got people that are like, there's levels to service self and others. Because if you are everyone, then everything you do is in service to others, right? If I were to help myself, wouldn't I be helping you? If I become stronger and wiser and I share that, isn't that the point? If I go read a book, that seems very selfish, but it's in all reality, it's not. So doing things that are for self, as long as you know how to articulate and be an artist with sharing the knowledge of the wealth of knowledge that you have, to be a person of influence, of tone, of a teacher, a guide. I like the word guide much better than I like the word teacher. I don't like the word teacher or preacher too much. I like the word guide though. So if you go on a ayahuasca journey, you have a spirit guide. So I like the idea of, and the word, there you go, pure position. That's the word, purpose. Pure pose, pure position. I don't know that anybody really truly has one, like a singular purpose. Because I've done different things in my life, so I have different purposes at different times. Like a Swiss Army knife, you know? It just, you have to be that. You can't have, I don't think you can have one. I think certain people have one purpose in life. Like one thing that they need to, but I don't think we all do. I think most people have many purposes. It depends on the day, it depends on the place, it depends on the environment. It's completely different. It's you know, it's fully how to put this? Like, it just depends on what's around you. You can't be the same way all the time. So I think your purpose, your position, your service to things is only, like, I'm no good to somebody that needs to pick up a 300-pound bag off the ground and move it. You know, that's not my purpose. And why should it be? There are people that can pick up, you know, heavy objects. Okay, good. There are people that can lift things with their mind, like literally, like, and it's like people expect you to have a different purpose, but it's whatever the occasion calls for. If we must do this, we must do this. If we do that, we do that. I mean, it's just, I don't think that people need to be so critical on themselves, to believe to be so egotistical. And I say that with humor, to think that you have some sort of purpose, because I don't think anybody does. I think life for the most part is purposeless. Yet there is an upgrading of consciousness. That's all that really is to be done. You can never become dumber. Let me see. What's up, Archons? What's up? What's up? What's up, Beatbag? Need a Neil. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's always medicine first. I mean, a lot of us, we overdo it, but so be it. You know? I mean, life is to be had, to be explored. Beatbag, I like that. Retina, like your eyeballs. So the eyes of the seat to the soul, the entry point. Alive and awake? I don't know. I can't really answer that. I don't think so. I'll go with I don't think so. I don't. Doesn't seem you would. Although, if you consider why they put the red dot or the sandalwood on their forehead, when I say they, I mean, you know, the grand meditators. It's a cooling. It's cooling for the brain and cooling for the mind, for one thing. But I think that there might be some sort of a little bit of a barrier. I mean, think about it. If you're in a room and you close your eyes and there's light around you, you can kind of open your third eye, like, you know, when you're on that kind of like almost asleep, almost awake kind of that thing. But if you're in a bright room, you can't just blast off with your third eye too easily. So the darker the room, the more you can. But there is something to be gained by focused. Like, I mean, if you're opening your eyes, you want the energy of the sun to go into them. So why wouldn't it be the same with your third eye? I don't think you need to. There you go, Fire Drake. This is exactly, yeah. Yeah, what is the purpose? I know, just allow for whatever life is. Yeah. What's up, Earth-inspired pottery? It's good to see you, man. Look what I got here. These here are all thanks to Earth-inspired pottery, and I just put this one in yesterday. The fish one. Yeah. Freaking fabulous shit, so... yeah, y'all should check out his stuff, man. He got an Instagram. You could go over there and check out his jewels. They're beautiful. Dimension. You overdid it on mead? Whoa. No, I've never ended up in a hospital over drinking. No. I mean, we've all had our falling down the stairs, tripping on something, making a mess of things, but I don't know. Never got that far with it. I don't think I ever will. What's up, Nita Neil? How are you? What can I do for you? Is there something you need to know? Rub the genie's lamp and I will speak on it for you. What's up, Amanda Mallet? And Danny Skylark is in the building. Or are you in a building? Or are you outside? Or what are you doing? Alive and awake when you on. Yeah, it's nice to have the capacity to open and close it, you know. That's where people, you know, the whole thing about teaching people to lucid dream and become, you know, get out of body and all this is really practice and being aware and conscious here and be able to use your gift of your third eye well in this reality. You shouldn't be walking around with it open all day. I think that's a little much for most people. I think it's kind of, that's what the meditation is for. That's what the planning out your day. You know, meditate on the day and then go walk in it. You don't while you're walking in the dream, you're not trying to, like, if you're in the dream, here, try this. Here, I'll give you next level. If you're in a dream, try to open your third eye while you're in a dream. Yeah. What's up, Travis Cup? Yeah, and it's always, yeah, if you need to slow down and come back down a little bit, dense food is what to do. I mean, like, whenever you're doing a fast, everybody knows this. If you're on a fast and you can't get to sleep and you're just like, damn, I need to like rest my mind and my body, you eat some food and it pulls the energy out of your mind, puts it in your stomach, and allows you to kind of drift off for a little bit. Nita, yeah, that's going to be one way to go about it for sure. Get into eating melons. I mean, they're your melons for a reason. Melons, any kind of melons, are going to be really good for the breast. Cantaloupes, watermelons, etc., etc. Probably cantaloupes are going to be the best. Something, you know, you think about watermelon, it's more for your head. Your head is like a watermelon. You know, knock on it, it sounds like your skull. But the rest of the melon family are very good for cleansing breast systems. And also, you know, a lot of that you need to, what I would do is take a gua sha tool and open up these. You're gonna have some lymph problems. Cancer is basically the inability for the body to express used up lymph, if that's how you put it. You know, your body needs to cycle, and when you wear a bra or you put deodorant on, you're cutting off the capacity for your body to remove whatever was used as fuel, and then it clogs up and becomes cancer somewhere. But water fast is always a good idea, and it's last in, first out. So if it's something recent that's occurred, then it'll be quick to go away. If it's something you've had for a while that you didn't know, it'll take about a day per year. So if you've had breast cancer for 10 years, it'll take you at least 10 days of hardcore water fasting and grounding yourself out and breathing properly. But fasting is always a good idea. Yeah, it's cancer ain't a problem. Cancer is your friend. Yeah, cancer is your friend. Just citrus is always good. Citrus will always do good. Fasting is quicker. And if you're crazy enough like the rest of us, drink your piss. Your piss will heal it faster. Damn, you did, Danny. That's crazy, man. That's like having an Inception dream, you know, where you're like 2 or 3 levels into the dream. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I mean, depending on the size and what you've been consuming, you know, massage is going to help. Gua sha tools will help. Cupping will definitely help a lot. And those are simple, easy things. Like the massage might cost, you know, massage costs a little bit, but you can get yourself some cups and a gua sha tool for $20, $25. So that right there alone is gonna, you know, save the expenditure of you know, going to get a massage. I mean, massage is gonna be way, you know, massages are delightful. If you got somebody to do it, I mean, yeah, rub them boobies. You know what I mean? Rub them titties. I mean, it's a good massage right there. That's what we're here for. men like us, we out here to massage your titties to make sure you don't get a cancer. Or if you got titty cancer, we can fix that too. Hey, wherever you got cancer, we can fix it. I get up in all those spaces. Fire Jake, yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah, and also need a beer will help too. Beer and wine. Wine is really good for you. Wine's gonna, because what you want to do, the idea for most people with everything, especially with cancer, is you need to make your blood thinner so that you have the pathway. Think of all your veins and your lymph system. They're just a bunch of tubes, and you need to open those up. So you want to thin the blood so that way it can grab onto and be more water filled, to grab onto these things that are held within your tissues, your muscles, and pull those things out that shouldn't be there. And cancer is it's a garbage can that your body didn't know how to process. It's just coagulated DNA that needs to just be removed. But it's not hurting. If it's hurting you, that's something different. But 99% of the time, the cancer is not hurting until it becomes obsessed. It's a lot. And so, but removal of it is it's pretty simple. Clean the blood, clean the kidneys, clean the colon first. Clean the colon first, then the liver and gallbladder, then the kidneys, and then the blood filters through the kidneys. So that's your route, and alcohol helps with that. As long as you're not eating a bunch of shit with the alcohol, because then you're only. So I got a little tickly. Got that one little long nose hair. You ever get that one? Yeah, and hydrogen peroxide is gonna be really good. Breathing, deep breathing. Do some Wim Hof breathing. Over oxygenate the body, and then that's gonna help, clean you up. Oh, there it is. Got that little booger right there. Travis, massage therapist, Rolfing 10 series. I don't understand. I know Rolfing. Rolfing is a great idea. Get yourself anything to like start moving the blood around in the body and getting your the next layer is to remove, so your skin will get stuck to your muscles, would get stuck to your tendons. All of that is like secondary, but that's the Rolfing and moving things around using, use a stick, use whatever, get some tools. But that cupping is really big to help with getting the system fluid and moving. Yeah, Reiki is great with massage. I've told this story before, but there was a massage place out in Indiana when I lived there, and I used to get every time I'd go, I'd get a new person to work on me. It was really big. It was crazy. It was like probably like 20 different people worked there, and so I'd have a different person work on me every time. And this one chick, she did Reiki while she was doing massage. And after the massage, I sat down in the waiting room, and I was like, "Yo, I can see auras right now. Like I could just sit there and I could see the auric field around everything." It was crazy. It was like I could kind of see auras now and then, focusing. But it was like right afterwards, I was just like, well, just move stuff to that. I could see a painting, and I could see the aura around the painting. It's pretty crazy. Oh, that's the hookup right there. Yeah, don't be a mouth breather. I mean, there's reason to do mouth breathing. Mouth breathing is going to pull energy down and put you in a different realm. I mean, he says it doesn't matter how you breathe to get the effect of oxygenating the body, which is partially right, but the upgrade is to do the Wim Hof breathing method, also being aware of the alpha, beta, theta, delta, gamma, and if you can, over breathe the way he suggests, but use it nose, mouth, nose, etc., and go through those things. You could amplify what he's teaching. Like his teaching is breathe until you oxygenate the body and you put yourself in a hyper state. But I think there's an upgrade to that. Yeah, the tensor. Yeah, that's the big thing that I always forget. Yeah, the fascia, which is interesting. The word fascia is very interesting because when you look into the fascists or the fascists, which are a bundle of sticks bound together and wound together. There's some interesting thing, and I was going to do a video on that, but thanks for bringing that up. And that's the most important part of your body. That the fascia is so strong. It holds things together. A lot of people, when they're lifting things, they're using more. They're not really using their muscle. They're using their fascia, which is stuck and bound to the muscle and the tendon or the skin. And you want those to actually be a slippery surface. And that's what the gua sha will do. That's what the cupping will help do. That's what massage will help do. That's what, fascia is the dilemma. What's up, Archon? Yeah, clogged lymph and organs is the number one problem in the world for people. I mean, if your lymph is draining properly and if your organs are not overburdened, you'll be running around just fine. But everything we consume is literally overburdening and overtaxing the system and putting putting extra physical, you know, just junk in different spots that your body can't filter. And that's why we age. That's why people get older and look older. Because if your body, the only reason you're going to get gray hair is if you start to back up things that are producing the chemicals that produce the carbon or the melanin, if you want to call it melanin, that produces this color hair. And that's the only reason things start to change. You're clogging up organs that don't allow, then all of a sudden because your stomach is going to produce a lot of chemicals. And if it's not clean, then your brain, which is also releasing chemicals, there's a system that goes between your first brain, which is your belly, your ball, and your brain, and it just changes the amount of chemicals it's releasing. So once you clean that up, I mean, anti-aging, reverse aging, that shit is pretty real. I mean, it's all you got to do is clean up your tubes. Yeah, Fire Drake. I dig it. Shit. Wim Hof is a fucking beast, man. He out there doing it, you know. And I like that he's getting it out there. Like, you got to breathe and making it very simple for people. But just fucking breathe. So many problems are caused by people being shallow breathers. Like just breathing very, no focus on it whatsoever. I mean, that's what they do with the yogis, and that's what they do whenever you become a Buddhist monk. They say, they say to the teacher, the Buddhist monk, he goes, oh man, I got out of body, I did all this dreaming. He's like, yeah, so did you remember to breathe? Because breathing is the number one thing we do. I mean, that is spirit, that is breath. Breath is breathing, you know, that breathing in spirit. So just by breathing better, we're oxidizing parts of our system. So everybody that's into this antioxidant thing, no, you don't want antioxidants until you're already healthy. So these people on the green tea, all this shit, yeah, but you want to oxidize. You want to breathe. Oxygen is oxidation. And you want to breathe off and oxidize. And everybody that's been here already knows how this works. But it bears worth repeating, is we're not supposed to have iron-rich blood. The hemoglobin, look, plants have magnesium as the center point of their blood molecule, their blood. We call it their blood. Ours is more iron because we consume more iron. We're in an iron age. There's iron in everything. Inorganic iron that will rust, which makes our blood red. But if we removed that, our blood would change. We don't need to be eating iron. We need to oxidize it and remove it out of the system because it's not helpful. Iron fillings, iron filings that you find in cereal, that ain't good for you. Why do you think a magnet attracts lead or attracts iron? Put a magnet there and you can pull it around in the cereal. Everybody's seen this. You can go on and you do it for yourself. Go get a box of Total or whatever cereal you got, and you can mash it up, put it in the blender, and then all of a sudden put a magnet there. Now imagine that inside of you. If we're electrical magnetic beings, and there's things going on all out here that are magnetic. It'll draw you to do certain things. It can move you in certain ways. Get rid of that, and you're not magnetized by an inorganic substance within your body. Any tips on fixing the sternum? Man, I don't know. Off the top, I don't know. Did you snap it? What's the problem? I've hurt my sternum before playing football. I've hurt my sternum and my spine, like the base of my spine, where my tailbone is. I fucked up my tailbone a long time ago. That was awful.
I'm telling you, Chris, people are.
Yeah, fascia is very, very important to move around, and if you apply these ideas of using stretching with, you want active stretching though. You don't want just regular stretching. You want active stretching and cups and washer tools. And if you really want to dig into it real hard, get yourself some voodoo bands, Kelly Starrett voodoo bands, and that will change your mobility instantaneously. Like within a week, I went from not being able to touch the floor to putting my palms on the floor. You know what I mean? Like I could just bend over and I could barely touch my feet. And within a week of using these bands and doing some other things, I could put my palm on the floor. It like increased all sorts of athleticism in me. Like it became easier to move because now all of a sudden these things aren't stuck together. So look into voodoo bands. Those are what's up. Those are the real deal. It's funny I never speak about those because I kind of forget. But they're well worth it.
So okay, so what about your?
Yeah, Joe Dispenses, yeah. Dispenses, yeah. I dig him. I mean, Archon, everything is radiation, man. I mean, the sun is radiating, you're radiating, the tree is radiating. Radiation is an auric field. I don't think there's something to worry about. I firmly believe that it's just about how you transmute the energy. If you have a 10 amps that you need for a system to work, then it will work on 10 amps. Now, if you want to start supplying more energy to it, it might burn out the thing, but if you just open up the wire and put a bigger wire, okay, now you got a 14 gauge wire. Now get yourself a 10 gauge wire. Now it can handle more amperage. Get yourself a 8 gauge wire. All of a sudden you get more energy going through it. So everything that's going on out here with radiation and, you know, you got frequency and amplitude modulation, FM and AM, it's everywhere right now. It's all you have to do is be able to transmute that energy and make it useful. So I don't think there's a big deal with it. The only people it's going to hurt is the people that can't transmute energy well, can't digest things. So they would be smart to make their system more cohesive to new energies coming in, more energy. If you get more energy, you gotta know how to work with it. Yeah, grounding is very important. The biggest thing about this new energy, you know, there's this new spiritual new age movement thing about all the new energies coming in. Well, even if it's spiritual energy, so be it. That's fine, you know, in that sense. And if it's actually made by some, you know, system that's creating energy out here, is it the 5G networks and blah blah, then we have the 6G network and whatever. It's all, you need to learn, you need to ground yourself, put your feet on the ground, lest that will help you absorb and transmute energy better. So everything they're doing is making people be more earthbound, or else you're going to get fried. You fry yourself out. I mean, think about how many times you just like, after a long week of work, you're just like, I need to ground out or something. You need take the shoes off, put your feet on the ground. Changes everything. Start to feel a little tense, a little anxious. Like that is literally a literal physical thing that's going on when people are anxious. That jump in the ocean. Oh, you don't live by the ocean? Okay, find some water. Okay, pour yourself a bath. Put some salt in it. Take your shoes off. Just go stand outside. All of these things will assist in allowing you to have more energy run through you. You could have, if you put your feet on the ground, you can have a lot more energy run through you than you think you're capable of. You put shoes on, you get fried because you're not grounded out. You can get hit by electricity. You can get hit by lightning. Lightning can go through you, you know, with shoes on because you got a rubber sole there. If you walk barefooted, you would never get hit by lightning. You couldn't. And if it did hit you or it went through you, you wouldn't even feel it. It would be completely different. Lots of beer, Nita. You don't sweat. You have small pores. Are you Asian? A lot of Asian people don't sweat. Their pores are smaller. Their whole system, their makeup is much different. Using cupping and gua sha will probably help with that. It's probably a lot to do that. Not sweating has a lot to do with backed up lymph system, really. And I have not. I sometimes run around. I always get stones, but then I give them away. So I've used shungite sometimes, but not specifically. Not like like as I always say, my everyday practices are much different than what I teach about, what I preach about, because I'm always learning new things. But yeah, shungite is a good idea. Yeah, sauna will work, but you don't. But make sure though, if you don't sweat and you go to a sauna and you're still not sweating, you could fry your internal organs. You got to pay attention. You got to do what's going to make you sweat. You need to open up the pores in your body. That's more important because, I mean, do you live in cold weather? Do you live in hot weather? You know, your climate is going to have something to do with it too. What about emotional factor? Yeah, remember emotions are connection to either anxiety, which is the past or the future, or depression, which is the past. So those are emotions, and yeah, ways of getting rid of physical body fat, getting rid of cancer is literally letting cancer for the most part is related to emotional codes of the past, of depression. That's the emotional aspect of it. So getting rid of the cancer itself will also release all of the connection to the memory of what is held within the cancer. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fire Jake. Yeah, it's gonna be intense. Yeah. Somebody was asking about scars the other day, and I just forgot to dig deeper into the research for you guys because I was given a couple ideas about how to get rid of scar tissue and stuff, but the gua sha tool is gonna be a #1 thing for that. Oh man, it is. There you go, Fire Drake. You hit that on the head, man. Like, who heals the healers? You know, when you do Reiki, I've had this happen to me quite often. Is if you don't breathe properly, or you don't funnel the energy through you, you can end up taking on other people's energies. You know, and I've done that plenty of times. I've done it. It can be overwhelming when you're healing other people because you end up taking apart, like even when you're really doing it well and breathing and cycling all the energy through you, sometimes you can get backed up in the weirdest ways. So it's best to. I've learned from a couple people that a couple tarot card readers that I know. They'll after they work with people and they read someone's tarot, they'll smoke a cigarette. I mean, they smoke good tobacco though. You know, remember that. Don't just smoke a cigarette. They smoke good tobacco. And that's one way that they get rid of the energy of whoever they're working with. Obviously, spirit can help. You know, anything, because spirit is breath or spirit. That's what some of us do. A lot of people, you can get rid of and cycle the energy in a lot of different ways. I mean, everybody's doing Reiki all the time, whether they are conscious of it or not. But when there's a focused attention, you're increasing the amplitude. If I focus on something, I'm taking the AM dial and I'm cranking up the volume on it. You know what I mean? That's how that works. If I frequently do something, if I'm always helping someone, then I'm ramping up the frequency of modulation. So you're always doing that anyways. But if you're focused on doing it, you got to know how to cycle and remove the energy from your system. Yeah, Joe Dispenza's stuff is good. He did a show. He did a movie. As we're talking about this, it's called. I believe he was in it, and if he wasn't, go check it out. Anyways, it's called The Emotion Code. Very, very well worth the watch. And my dude Don Tolman's in it. That's that dude. Don Tolman is that dude that nobody knows about. That I've done readings out of his book for some time for people, and a lot of the knowledge that I have is directly linked to this dude's work. Pharmacist Desk reference in his book. Don Tolman, he's in this movie called Emotion Code. And the connection to all of the things that emotions and cancer and how the body heals and things. It's a very, very good book. Or excuse me, it's a very good movie. I think there was a book about it too, but yeah, manifestation is pretty easy. It's always occurring. Magic, everyone, you know, it's like telling somebody like everyone's a magician, everybody's a god, everybody's a this. You know, it's always occurring. You're already doing it, but it's taking more control over the magic itself. And the magic is really control of magnetics. If you really broke it down and made it simple. And once you have control of magnetics, you can control electricity as well because they're bound together. But most people are very unaware of magnetics because they're low on magnesium. See the connection? Magnesium is a nighttime element connected to the female or the feminine aspect of self. But most people don't deal with the shadow self or the woman part, the Eve, the evening, the dark magic, because they don't. So we're a magnesium poor as a culture, but we're calcium and sodium rich. Calcium and sodium is masculine daytime elements. Magnesium and potassium are feminine elements. That needs to be. That's the magic. That's where. And if you look at it, it's magic. Mg is magnesium, potassium is K. MgK, magic. So the more of that you get in your system, the more you understand what the law of attraction really is. It's not even it's attraction is the magnetics. Magnets attract things. You can flip the magnet over and you can repel things too. So there's that. Well, hello. Look who's here. Meet Wadify is in the building. Does everybody know who Meet Wadify is? Trash your shoulder skating in a park. How do you tell if you've incorrectly stored urine? You'll smell it. The smell will be atrocious. And if you look in it, there shouldn't be anything swimming around in there. I've had 1 or 2 batches go bad because I put it into a container that wasn't clean, or you know, that's usually what happens. So then the bad bacteria, it will smell bad. You'll just know it. Don't associate strong smell with bad smell. You want it to smell like ammonia. If you get some ammonia, smell it, it's like bleachy ammonia. You kind of like just, whoa, that's what you want it to smell like. You don't want it to smell like trash. It doesn't, you'll know. I'll make it that simple. If it's like, I don't know about this, throw that shit out. But it's really hard to fuck it up. If you put it in a clean jar, it's not gonna go bad. I know. Fire Drake, Meatwad is an amazing animal. Her real name is Sirius. Didn't you know that, Fire Drake? You said seriously. Her name is Sirius Dogstar. That's her real name. I just don't tell anybody that. We gotta make her look like a goofball. We call her Meatwad. So people are like, oh, she's so silly. Because I was like, no, her name is Sirius. She's serious. They'd be like, oh shit. That's that dog right there? That's that strong one? That's the one from Sirius? That's a dog star? Whoa, that's powerful. So you can't tell people the dog's real name. But there you have it. Now you know Meatwad's real name is Sirius. The black Sirius. Black Star. Children have so much energy because they're not eating too much food. They haven't stressed out the system because their energy is always cycling. That's why you think kids run around and want to play all day and don't want to come in and eat dinner? Because they don't need dinner. Because the food's gonna get in their way. Because they're just cycling and ciphering energy. Playing with other kids, feet on the ground, bumping around, doing all sorts of shit. There's energy there. They're connected to the etheric realm. Why do you think little babies grow so big? They're just and it's so massive immediately. Then all of a sudden you get to a certain age, and then supposedly you get to a certain age and the growth hormones shut off. Although they don't really. If you know this, the curiosity is if you fast, immediately after you fast, especially if you do a long-term fast, your growth hormones, the HGH, I think it's called, the growth hormone goes way up in the body. So a fast will cause your body to like grow very fast right afterwards. You can grow muscle very fast after a fast. You can grow hair faster. You just become more able to assimilate the etheric energy around you. Because there's nothing blocking it. There's no food. There's no gross physical object in the way of you becoming more bigger or whatever. You know, it's light. When I say bigger, what I mean is transform. If you just transform your being. UVU, yes, you're welcome. Ben Hayes, I think about it all the time, man. I think it's you're not healthy unless you've thought about it. You know, you have to have a healthy curiosity. What's on the other side of this whole thing? Just turn out the lights, turn the sounds off, everything just goes silent and dead, and what's over there? I mean, you'll get there eventually. Everybody, well, not there, but you'll get to whatever that you think that point is. Everybody does, but shit, maybe I'm already dead. You see, like, and that's a concept to me. I find, like, if you don't know, like, maybe you already are. Maybe you're already living. Maybe there's so many questions to that I think it's part of our life to be curious about what's going on after death, after we die, after we move on. Can we speed up the process? Do we like it here? Do we hate it here? I think those are all very, very healthy, healthy things to do and think about. If you repress the idea of what death is, or what passing on or moving to some different realm is, then man, that's got to be real sticky. That's gotta. I can't communicate with those kind of people. You can't. That's, you know. You should be concerned with, as Dan Winter says. Savan always says something like this too, but Dan Winter, I like the way Dan Winter breaks it down. He's like, the only reason you're here, there's one reason you're here. It's to learn how to bring your memories through death. That's all. So that's a reason for learning to lucid dream and to get out of body, so you can start to have a path, a linear path of memory of, well, this life. Oh, you're always living. You can't die. No one dies here. Sorry about that, guy. You might move on from this body to something else. You surely will. You could choose to do it. Why do you think so many yogis could tell you the time and date of their death? Because they chose to go to a different realm. Because they just changed their vibrational matrix. That's all. So I think it's healthy to think about. I mean, don't obsess over it, but I mean, everybody's gonna have a bad day. Everybody's gonna have a good day. Everybody's gonna have, like, you go through these things, but surely I think it's better. It's better to consider it. I mean, ask her. They'll tell you some people are crazy to talk about it, but then you got other people that they'll go to the lawyer and they'll be like, I need to write out my will, my last living testament, my will. Man, it seems like they're a little more obsessed than the people that didn't write it down. Why write it down? For what? I don't need a piece of paper and pen to tell people anything. You already heard me. Just don't bury me in a fucking box. Go ahead and light my body on fire and send me through a cannon like Allah fucking Hunter S. Thompson. You know, throw me, shoot this fucking dead spacesuit out through a cannon. Don't bother me. I ain't in there no more. I'm in everything. I'm in your fucking head. I'm in that tree. I'm in this table. Zach Chrono. I think that's a really long one, man. I don't think I want to do that now, but I think, you know, consider their diet as fish mainly. Like, if we just consider, like, what are they raw fish, and I think there's something about the fish eye and the way the scaly skin and their connection to dragons and the dragon blood. I'll say that much. I can't qualify it absolutely, but I mean, I'm sure I probably have Asian in my blood. I mean, Tartarian, Aryan, and Asian, and Hyperborean, and what you'd call native, like, you know, it's in there somewhere. I can look through my hairs. I got some red ones. I got some brown ones. I got some black ones. I got some curly ones. I got some straight ones. But Asian people are wildly different. You know, wildly different than what you call a black person. Wildly different than what you call a white person. They're all very different. So, how did they get that way? Diet is something to do with it, for sure. But I think it was incarnation through what realm they came through first. I think that's going to be a big factor. Yeah, Shungite this is what I've heard too. Yeah. What's up, Secretariat Lens? I haven't seen you in a long time. What's up? What's up, Roman? Oh shit, yeah, somebody the other day came out with had TsarXen, man. I was playing with a TsarXen the other day. Twisted Sage, thank you. That's the right name. I always forget about Twisted Sage. Check that out. Go check them out on Instagram. And on here, I think. And for the 15 people in here that haven't given me a thumbs up, I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you a finger up your fucking butt. How dare you sit here and not give me a thumbs up? I'm gonna guilt you into giving me a thumbs up. How's that? It's not for me. It doesn't no sweat off my back if you can't figure out where the thumbs up button is. I got the Shun guy got the fullerenes in it. Huh, interesting. I'll look into that a little farther, Jonathan Valentine. Yeah. I remember doing a little research into that a while back on the Russian connection to the Shungite and that other one that they say comes from the meteor. It comes from a meteor, but I don't know about that. The green one. What's it called? Anybody got help with that? What's the name of that green stone that supposedly comes from a meteor? Which I don't think it does, but you can only find it really in Russia because they said it was this one special meteor that hit somewhere in Russia. What was the... Anybody know the name of that?
Yeah, it just like...
Yeah, what the bleep we know. There's an extended version too. It's real good stuff. What's up, Ahava? How you doing? I'm guessing it's a little dark. It looked like it's gonna rain for the last couple hours. I'm guessing you're not down there in the quarter. Everybody here should know Ahava. I was talking to y'all earlier about master tarot card readers. Y'all want to get on it? I'll do. I already told her, and we're gonna do a video one of these days. You guys can come on, and I'll have you guys see some real deal tarot card reader. And speaking of tarot cards, what do I have here? What might I have? Do I have one? I'm gonna pull a card for Ahava right now. What is this? What do we have here? What might be in this little bag? Just so you know, the Tsar deck. Let's see what kind of... I'm just gonna go ahead and just pull one right out, and it's gonna be this one right... I think it's right there. Is this the one? This is the one. Happy days. Yeah. 12. The Hangman. El colgado. Le pendu der gehante. Le apeso. It's a fun one. Hangman's a good card. That one's a lot of fun. That's what I see right there. Put these things away. Let's see here. Jonathan Valentine, smells like normal urine, just a little stronger. Did you put the top on, or did you leave it cracked? Because if you leave the top on too tight and you don't let it breathe, it's not gonna age very well. How long has it been sitting? It should smell, after about a week, it should have a pretty ammonia-rich smell. Like, whenever I piss, my piss doesn't really smell like much unless I've eaten a bunch of garbage. Magnesium oil, I don't prefer magnesium oil on my skin. I like to get magnesium through natural sources. Chocolate. Because magnesium tends to, no matter what kind I've used, it tends to make me a little itchy, which is you know, obvious. Like if you do get that, it means you're a little low on it. But I'd rather consume it through foods, because you know, you can't always verify the source and what is it magnesium astrate, is it magnesium, you know, there's different kinds of magnesium, which becomes more confusing. But if it works and it helps, a lot of people, it helps injuries for people. Were you saying Don Tolman is in Emotion Code? Emotion Code, the movie? Emotion Code? Yeah, I don't know if it's Bradley Nelson that did it, but Don Tolman is in that, yeah.
I would almost guarantee it had to have been a spray paint. I thought so.
Travis, wicked man. Yeah, there you go, Fire Drake. It's called The Fourth. If you don't know the book, go look it up. It's called The Fourth Phase. Gerald Pollack. The fourth phase of water is about reducing the surface tension of the water so that the difference between what you'd consider water and air starts to become very, very mystic, like mist. So the surface tension, like usually bugs can stand on top of water, but you reduce that surface tension, all of a sudden there's no, it's basically, you could breathe the water almost. I mean, we are breathing water. We kind of live in a water world anyways, but yeah, conscious death, I mean, I try to do that most days, you know, like, okay, I go out a week ago, I have a bad night or something, wake up and go, fuck, that was a bad night, let's go ahead and just remove some of these ideas of what I am. Let's be new today. Let's kill off parts of myself that aren't my best version of self. But always knowing in my mind that life is an experience. We're gonna get through it the way we do. We're gonna have good times and weird times and funky times, and you know, it's like when people get they obsess over stupid things they've done. You know, those arguments you have in the shower with somebody from 5 years ago, where you're scrubbing your hair, just like, you know, and, you win that imaginary argument. It's about just going, fuck it. We can't redo that shit. It's here it is. Just move on. Enjoy your life. Consciously die every day. You should die daily. Yeah, Proctor. Yeah. Carson Flowers, have I ever done dry fasting? I mean, one of you not drinking, you're dry fasting. But no, I don't think it's a good idea for most people. I don't even touch it, because I don't think anyone is really in that realm of, there's such a small number of people that should even consider that an idea. And there's people that out here that are pushing it that shouldn't even be doing it themselves, and they shouldn't be telling people to do it, because that's like high level fucking shit. We out here, people still eating Burger King for breakfast. People out here eating 3 meals a day, and then be like, oh no, we're gonna dry fast? People ain't even clean up. You need to have very clean fluid in your body. You need to have clean blood before you can even think that dry fasting might even be a reasonable idea. I think it's a terrible idea unless you're somewhat healthy. Like, and when I say somewhat, I mean a lot. So I don't really speak on it. Even if I had done it for a period of time, I wouldn't tell anyone. I wouldn't. No. Because then people, oh yeah, I got to go to dry fast, and you got these people that ain't even water fasted once for more than 2 days, and all of a sudden they think they can dry fast. And moldavite is the word. Thank you. Moldavite is that rock, that crystal, that stone. What's up, City L Karchi? What's up, man? Oh, you got 11 grams of moldavite. The first time that I rocked moldavite, somebody random enough just gave me 2 earrings. I haven't worn earrings in years, and I just had this like I was in a bar, it was Mardi Gras 2 years ago, and I was having this long conversation with this dude. He's like, dude, it's like, we started talking about crystals and stuff, and I was like, are those Moldavite earrings? He's like, yeah, dude, here, fucking, you can have them. And he gave me these earrings, and so I rocked out these Moldavite earrings and lost them within a day. Because I was telling him, like, anytime I'm near Moldavite, it's such a powerful energy that, like, it doesn't, I like it, but I don't work very well with it. So it's just, it amplifies me too much, and I'm already too much on my own. Virginia Facetto. What do I think about chemtrails? I don't really think much about them. I see them in the sky. Like, they were in this yesterday. I was going to do a video. There was like 20 of them in the sky, like literally 20. And now it's cloudy today. Go figure. I don't know. There's a larger thing that some people have kind of put me onto about thinking about why it's being done. And it's not to kill you. It's not to poison you. It's for a much bigger reason. But it's all speculation, so I don't really talk about chemtrails too much. It's like go to the airport and stop the people from flying. Why don't you be like, hey, stop doing that? And they'll be like, no, it's my job. You know, there's not really much you can do about it unless you are in that position of authority or power within that. And you know, I try not to speculate. Although I don't think it's good, but it might be. Shit is right. Merlin Knights? That sounds fun. So the Merlins, the magicians of the world. Well, Carson, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So sitting for a week and a half, Carter, with a pillowcase and a rubber band. Do you, I can't answer the question for you, but the pillowcase, usually you want a cheesecloth. It needs to be breathable. Is the pillowcase made out of cotton? Is it made out of, you know what I'm saying? Like, it might not be breathing very well. You might have, you're supposed to use cheesecloth, or I would just leave the lid off and just make it, it needs to breathe. So, it's hard to say, man. It's really hard to say because the pillowcase might not be letting it breathe. If it's made of nylon or something, because nylon is plastic. What kind of chocolate do I eat? All of it. I like dark chocolate. The darker, the better. I mean, I don't want to get up into the. I can get it much above 90. It just becomes a little too bitter. But I like 80, high 80s range, 80%, 85, 88%. Brands, basically, whatever's on sale. But there's some good chocolate at this place right here. They also mix kava and kratom with the chocolate. Zen, can you name? Yeah, dark. Yeah. Name your 3 favorite books. It would be Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Siddhartha, and I don't know. I'll leave the third one open. I mean, it would be Don Tolman's book, The Pharmacist's Desk Reference, but I wouldn't think that someone would call that a book, more of a compendium, or it's like a book that I could just carry around. Like, no, it'd be those two, and oh, how about this? Oh, I know what the third one is. It's going to be a book by Tom Robbins. Jitterbug Perfume. How's that? Those 3. Make sense? Jitterbug Perfume, Siddhartha, and Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Those 3 right there. Anything with milk is better to avoid. Not necessarily. Milk is extremely healthy. It shouldn't be. Like, I like milk chocolate, but it's all about how much milk you're using and what kind of milk. And you know, once you pasteurize the milk, it becomes non-nutritious. You've turned it into soup. You've turned it into slop. But if you could find unpasteurized milk chocolate, you're gonna be in the right place there. Now you find me a company that does unpasteurized milk in chocolate. That you couldn't package it the same way, I don't think, because I think it'd still be living. So it would need to be like sealed into a plastic, you know, bag or something. But that would be what's up. Well, thank you, Fire Drake. You pulled some cars for me. Excellent. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, avoid milk for the most part, man. You know, get yourself some hemp milk or, you know, the almond milk. Don't get the store-bought stuff, but make your own. But if you can get it straight from the camel, if you can get it straight from the cow, if you can get it straight from that's the way to go. I drank in certain states allow for raw milk, and some places don't let you have raw milk. That should be key to everyone in their mind, that if they're making raw milk illegal, there must be something good in there, because it's extremely nutritious. So these vegans out here that are all against milk, they don't even know the half of it. They don't even know what they're talking about. It's a death-free food, just as honey is. Honey and milk are death-free. They're life-giving. They come from the mother. They come from the source of life. Vegans out here like ain't even gonna be breastfeeding their children because it's pus. They call milk pus. Well, if milk is pus, then your mommy's titties got pus in it. How about that? Secretary Lens, of course. I mean, yeah. Do me one favor. Try not to make me look like a fucking rambling lunatic or an idiot. I can do that on my own. So hopefully it's some of my better material that you chopped up. Yeah, I encourage it. There's a lot of times I re-listen to some of my stuff. I'm like, oh, I should chop this little part up. It's far in here, but it's really good, and I'd like people to hear it. But I don't have. I'm doing it from a fucking telephone, so I don't really have the capacity to like. That's why I do this shit live, because I can't do an hour video and record it, because that would be like 6 gigabytes, which I don't have. I don't have 6 gigabytes of of capacity on this phone. So yeah, feel free, chop them up. Yeah, Jonathan, it's polyester. That's not gonna work well. I would punch holes in it, but at this point, if it's been sitting for a week already, I might go ahead and just start over. You know what I mean? Just throw that batch out. Here, give me 1 second, y'all. I gotta dip inside so I get a charger. All right, we're back in session. Okay, I'm back. Are you guys still here? Good. Thanks for joining. Welcome. City L Karchi. So the amount of magnesium for chocolate doesn't change. I don't know what you mean when you say that. So yeah, just the more. So you got like the chocolates, the syrup. You know what's very funny is chocolate. The chocolate bean is white, yet chocolate is dark, like brown, right? And vanilla, the bean is black, yet vanilla is considered white. See the weirdness? And yeah, you know what's real good is some mushroom with dark organic. Yeah, there you go. Mushrooms with dark chocolate. The best kind of mushroom. Get yourself some fucking. What's the mushroom that grows on the tree? Chaga. Get some chaga mushrooms and chocolate. That's good stuff right there. I do, Fire Jake. I do. If I had somebody to take care of my standard, like collect my emails, go through and do all the comment shit, do all the computer-based shit, and I'd be more of you get responses from me. I'd be able to do this a lot better. You know, we could upgrade this whole thing, get a green screen, and do some wild ass shit. I need a compatriot, a companion to do this shit with. But I ain't anybody on my level, so I don't know. One of these days, I'll make enough doing this to hire myself a secretary though. So there's that. It's kind of like a catch-22. But if I had a secretary, I could make this bigger. But I can't pay a secretary to make this, you know. So, oh well. It'll come soon enough. If there must be a secretary, then it will happen. What's up, Amicio Nandan? What music do I listen to? Man, I'll let you know. You don't know. I'll let you guess. How's that? You can probably guess what kind of music I'm into. But there's too much good music. I mean, we out here in New Orleans, so it's you know, jazz everywhere, blues and jazz. And grew up on hip hop. Grew up on a lot of classical music. As far as artists go, man, there's fucking too many. But I kind of stay inside of like something gearing towards hip hop. But I don't know, live music. If it's live music, I love jazz. Jazz live is the shit. Jazz on an elevator, jazz like and just listening to it. Nah, I can't really fuck with it. But blues, oh man, for sure. Nita Neal, can I really fast and still drink beer? I mean, just be a different kind of fast. I mean, I have. Lots of people do. It just is not like a water fast is a water fast. It's going to be doing one specific thing. You can fast on bagels and bread, and you know, you could fast on yogurt. But beer is only going to help with cleansing. It's going to help burn things out of the body. It's living. So beer is very helpful. And so are all of the different kinds of spirits and alcohol. There's the herbs inside of there. Like, I suggest everybody gin is one of the greatest things that you can implement into your diet, because there are so many different herbs in it that have been distilled properly by a botanist, by a real deal. Like, especially find some ancient ones. Find the old ones. You know, the ones that have been around for a long time. The distilleries that they were distilling that spirit for a reason. The spirit of 35 different plants. And so that's inside of the liquid. How do you think people that are? It's very funny to me. You find these really healthy, health-conscious people, and they want to go get tinctures of all of these herbs. Why? Because it's helping. They're extracting all of the knowledge from the herb, putting it into alcohol. The tincture is an alcohol. So why not get a big bottle of it and have all of the elements provided through that? So you don't do what I do. Just do what I say. It's very simple. These things are all medicines. You can overdo medicines, but you you know, a shot or two of gin, of a high quality gin, that's excellent. That's excellent for the system. Because now you're ingesting the essence of 30, you know, 10 to 30 different plants. Oh, the cat with the violin, the dude that was jamming out, that white dude that was jamming out. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe tonight I'll go out again. I don't know. Maybe we'll run through the streets. Show you some more music. Yeah. I mean, cleaning yourself is gonna be best. Just the more water, the better. You know, it's the water way, the water course way. How's that? Yeah, beer is going to speed up the removal of things. It's going to be adding elements and also adding a bacteria. It's like yogurt or beer or sauerkraut. These are all bacterias, but those are they're like on the good team. You know, there's bad bacteria and good bacteria. And those for the most part are going to be on the good team, helping to remove all the things that are not assisting your system in life. So, but really, the easiest way to do it, like if you never fasted before and you feel like you want to have a glass, like do a short fast, go ahead and drink. Or if you want to keep your mind, if you really focus on it, water and urine, water and urine. That's it. You can't handle that. You need to feel like, because you're going to be getting also nutrition from beer, and that's where the dilemma arises. Is because you're not shutting your entire system off. By drinking water, you're shutting off your system. So after 3 days, after about 72 hours, your body goes into basically, okay, we're not eating. Now we're gonna go ahead and eat away at all the fats and cancers and things. So it's best to do a water, if you wanna really get rid of cancer as quick as possible, water fast for at least 7 days, 7 to 10 days. That's gonna be the quickest way to do it. It's gonna be more difficult, yeah, if you got a job and you got, you know, if you're around people that are eating all day, like, yeah, it's gonna be a little more tempting. But I mean, like, how much you want your health back? How much do you not want to have cancer? Ask yourself that. Do you not want to have cancer? Fast on urine, fast on water. Stop asking questions. Just go fucking do it. Just be about it. Don't tell anybody you're fasting. Because you'll be like, you have cancer. You need to eat. You need your energy. Nah, you need to kill that cancer, because that cancer itself it's called cancer. It's a can of Tsar. Tsar means serpent, or serpent-like energy. It's a can of Tsar, can of energy. Why is somebody knighted? They're called Tsar because they have energy, they have extra energy. So you just want to burn that off. You want to use that for energy. That cancer is like basically fat and cancer are pretty similar. It's just a ball of energy. So burn it, use it, use that for fuel. Use the cancer for fuel. Use the fat for fuel. Jordan, see, alcohol made your psoriasis way worse. Not sure it helps with some things. Well, psoriasis, because of what it is, your skin is, you're pushing toxin out. It's not that the alcohol is making psoriasis worse. It's pushing things out and healing you quicker. If you get acne because of something, if you get a skin disorder because of something, it's literally what's in your body being pushed out because it didn't have the correct channel of disposing of it out of your ass, basically. So it ended up saying, well, I need to get this shit out of my system. So it becomes a skin disorder. Just because something looks worse, it doesn't. You can't. You're applying the causation to be the wrong one. It's not the alcohol causing it. The alcohol is speeding up a process of healing, but in that healing is also, you might get zits. If you do a fast, you might get acne because it's pushing things out of your skin. So just don't think of it that way. The alcohol in and of itself, unless it depends on what kind of alcohol you're drinking now. Now, are you fucking with sugar-rich alcohol? Now the sugar is going to be doing something else in the body. Drinking wine versus beer versus an actual fully distilled liquor is wildly different. if you didn't want to notice those things happening, probably liquor is the way to go. It's the most condensed, no sugars in it. It's already removed the sugars because it turned the sugars into the end product. It's starting to rain out here, y'all. I might have to call this a day because I got electric and I can't be inside doing this. So let me see if I can make it stop raining. Hold on. We'll see. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes. It's just sprinkling. Yeah, 432, Roman. Yeah, that inflammation. If you want to fix that inflammation, start eating Indian food, Indian stuff. Turmeric. You want turmeric. Turmeric is good for inflammation. Ginger is good for your stomach. Good for digestion. Garlic is good to kill bacteria. Everything they're cooking with has a rhyme and reason. That's why their eyes are bright white and they're healthy, strong, beautiful people, because they know what they're doing with their food, because their food is their medicine. And there's a reason they use spices and use milk with the spices, or butter or ghee, because it becomes a carrier for all of those things. So whenever you're taking turmeric, you want it bound to the fats in, say, milk or butter or yogurt. If not, you're going to be burnt. You're going to be in your stomach acid. Everything is going to be burning a lot of it, and you're not going to be able to. Your body's not going to be accepting enough of the turmeric. The best way to do turmeric is turmeric and oil up the butt. Do an oil basti. Find yourself some sesame oil and turmeric. Heat it up slightly, just about body temperature, and then do an enema with it, and then hold it in overnight. That will fix a lot of things. It will balance out your system. I'm not going to use all the Indian words here, because when people start doing yoga and they start talking about like they talk about all the chakras in the names that are Indian. Like, I don't speak that shit. I could tell you, but you're balancing the body out with the oils and the turmeric. And it's called a basti. B-A-S-T-I. Look it up. What's up, Brill Lightyear? Brill Lightyear in the building. Hey, Brill, when are we gonna do that show? I just did a show the other day with somebody. I was hoping you'd be my first. I really was. I was hoping you'd be my first. But alas, we'll have to wait on it. Yeah. The numbers are fun to play with. I seen AAA today, and I seen ZZZ the other day, and I seen XXX the other day, it's always interesting to see because a lot of people obsess over seeing license plates or numbers places. Check out letters too. Always clean the bowels. Yeah. Started from the bowels. No, it's not raining anymore. Turmeric, ginger, cayenne, these are correct. And obviously onion and garlic. The best thing you can make is get yourself some apple cider vinegar, turmeric, ginger, cayenne, garlic, onion, and honey. Put it in a blender, strain it out, and put it in a jar. Drink that shit. Don't worry about getting sick no more. Drink that shit. Do a shot of that a day. Roman, usually your bag eyes are like, look at, I got a little bit of that right now. That's liver. So your eyes are connected to your kidneys. Excuse me. So your eyes are connected to your kidneys, which are connected to either your ovaries or your testicles. So those three things. So the bags are usually just overworking the kidneys. It's like when you don't get enough sleep, or you're out and it's not the drinking, it's always the shit you eat afterwards, or dehydration. So you want to hydrate yourself and find diuretics that will help support removal of toxin from the kidneys. These are usually diuretics. But whenever you're taking diuretics, such as Senna tea or things like this, you want to increase the amount of water into your system. So yeah, the kidneys is what's up there. Will Johnson, yeah, sometimes like this shit is pretty fucking flat out here. What's up, Dave T? Overcooking food is bad. Sure, you're definitely changing the structure of it. But remember, anything that is alchemy involves a chemical process that is heating something up. If you want to make a sword, you heat it up, and then you cool it, and you heat it up, and you cool it, and you heat it up. And so that process is doing something to the food as well, which can turn things into, you can take an almond that's raw and sprout it and eat it and get nutrition out of it. And you also can take an almond and you can cook it, and it becomes a fibrous substance for the body. It hasn't lost, it's just changed its values. Anything that's cooked, like there's certain foods that you need to cook. You don't eat a raw potato, you eat a cooked potato. Pretty simple. But you don't cook a fruit. You eat the fruit because the fruit was already cooked. It went through the process of taking water, nourishing itself, going up the root of the trees, going up the root of the tree, and then it expresses itself after going through a bunch of chemical processes as the fruit of the tree, which is already cooked via the sun. So that cooking of that through the sun is more of a electrical. It becomes an electrical system onto itself. But that's a whole nother way of looking at it. But nonetheless, the cooking is correct for some things, and it's very incorrect for other things. Of course, Mr. Lightyear, how have you been? Dandelion and marshmallow are correct here. The dandelion more important than the marshmallow, but the marshmallow is good because it's going to add a lot of slippery surfaces to your intestines. It's about 5 o'clock here. Okay. Let's see if we can get Mayan Jin Abaddon to show up. Say it 3 times. Mayan Jin Abaddon, Mayan Jin Abaddon, Mayan Jin Abaddon. He just texted me a second ago, so we'll see if he just shows up here. Oh, and I'll let everybody know here, there is a possibility somebody put it on the offering table to do a resort, a retreat down here to New Orleans and say March 1st. And it will be, so far it's me, and someone's gonna, I said, if you put it together, I'll do it. So it'll be me, and I'm trying, Quartz is gonna be down here. If everybody know Corey Quartz, he's gonna be down here, which was funny because he had said he was gonna buy a ticket to come down here for no other reason because he wanted to come from Mardi Gras. And then somebody else had offered to, like, you know, he wanted to come down and do like a resort, like a retreat down here, and like basically have me and, you know, basically have me speak. And then I said, well, maybe I should have Quartz and Jeannie come down, and it could be like me, Quartz, and Jeannie. Just we'll make it. It'll probably be like come down, donation based. I'll find a cool spot depending on how many people want to come through, and we'll do, I don't know, a couple days intensive study and training into the mind and body and whatever the fuck y'all want to know. So there it is. I will keep that on the, it's on the burner right now, but if anybody is interested, let me know, and if there's enough interest from people, I will make more effort to solidify those things, to make a, you know, 1, 2, 3 day thing down here. Inferno Earth. I don't even believe. I'll put it out there. I don't think Tesla was a real person. I don't think it really existed. I think it's a psyop. Quite honestly, because if you really considered it, why would they be pushing out this dude Tesla that had free energy, but then they sell you a car called Tesla that cost you $40,000 a year and it uses batteries, so it still ain't free. But all Tesla was about, if he existed, was about free energy. Right? Anyways, but before I go too far on the Tesla thing, photographic memory, yeah, it's called sight, and sight. C-I-T-E-S-I-G-H-T and S-I-T-E. It means that you can, like, I could remember. It means that you can, like, I could memorize a deck of cards, you know, in order. And the way you do it is using alphanumeric codings. And those alphanumeric codings use numbers and letters and hinge against each other. And then you create an image. So if each other, and then you create an image. So if I want to remember a phone number, say your phone number is 728, right? The number 7 has a value of a sound that is K. 2 has the value of an N, and 8 has a value of V. So I would make a word N, and 8 has a value of V. So I would make a word out of those letters, and vowels don't count. So what I would do is I make a word out of that has an image associated. I would associate that image with the word, then I could code back to those letters or to those numbers. And I could remember your phone number by knowing, and I could remember your phone number by knowing 2, 3, 4, 5 images. I mean, it doesn't, I can do it any way I want. I could use one number, or you know, I could use 3 numbers to make one word, or I could use your whole telephone number if I could find a long enough word. And so that photographic memory is enough word. And so that photographic memory is using visual imaging that connects the alphanumeric system. And so photographic memory certainly absolutely does exist, and you can train yourself to have it. To a high degree, meaning look at something and pinch it into your brain. To a high degree, meaning look at something and pinch it into your brain. Yeah, if you're really, really, really good, you could do that. It's called. You could do it right now. I could prove to you already have a photographic memory. You just you haven't used it properly. If you go and take a piece of paper, a white piece of paper properly. If you go and take a piece of paper, a white piece of paper, draw yourself an image on it. Just make a circle, or maybe make a word. Just write a word out. Make it big and chunky, and then stare at it. Put a dot in the middle and stare at that dot for 1 minute, and let all of that image fill up your for 1 minute. And let all of that image fill up the cones and rods in your eye, and then look up at a wall, and you can project it, and you'll project it in the opposite way, that you'll see on the wall a glowing image of whatever you've put on that paper. Now, if you start on that paper, if you start developing that, you can get to the point where you could look at a piece, like a literal a page in a book, and you can image that and put it into your mind and put it on the wall. It's very possible. It's very possible. This is beyond possible. People do this, and then from there you can. So there's that one. That's that one idea of photographic memory, and the other is to actually use systems. Like I said, alphanumeric. Use systems. Like I said, alphanumeric to code things back and forth, and then always have an image and tell yourself a crazy story in your mind, and it will turn into words, turn into numbers if you must. Numbers if you must. Yeah, well, Johnson. People that, if you can't do it, if you can't astral project, you will swear all day it's fucking phony. But once you've got out of body, there's it. There's nothing anybody. There's nothing anybody could say to you. They could say to you. Of course you can. Of course you can do that. It's not just, and they're like, oh, let's, here, I'm going to put a piece of paper up here, and I want you to go and read this number, and blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, I mean, you can, but some people, and I want you to go and read this number, and blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, I mean, you can, but some people, like, even in the astral realm, you don't have 100% control over like how bright an image might be. Like it takes a while. There's always going to be like the sharpness of objects, and it takes a while. There's always going to be like the sharpness of objects and like, you know, you could be walking and doing something, and all of a sudden it starts to fade, or you might get a little woozy in a dream, or you might you can walk through walls. I mean, there's lots of things you can do, but there's also ways of like not having a 100% lucidity. But there's also ways of like not having a 100% lucidity within the dream, within the astral realms. You're not always going to have the perfect amount of that. And to think about it, like think about it this way: if you walk through the streets today, can you tell me the last fucking 5 license plates you've seen, or the last? Can you tell me the last fucking 5 license plates you've seen, or the last person you saw? What were they wearing? What was that guy just wearing that walked by me? You know, the dream world is the same as this in the sense that you don't have the capacity to pay attention to everything. So it's, yeah. I mean, once you've been everything. So it's, yeah. I mean, once you've been out of body, once you've actually projected, you know. Nita Neal, yeah. If somebody could retag all my videos properly, yeah. If somebody could retag all my videos properly, that would be fucking amazing. But like right now, I only have about, I think I have like 8 or 9 tags, and it's the same exact tags on every video. Some of the videos I've gone through and watched and tagged them out, but you know, you know, some of my videos are, you know, 2 hours long, and they're like, it just take a while. If everybody on here, I got 5,000 people that supposedly subscribe to me. If I have everybody just do one video, I mean, if I have everybody just do one video, I mean, shit, I only, how many videos I got? I got probably about 1,200 videos, 1,300. Some of them are under lock and key, but one video, watch it and tag it right. I asked people a while back if people could watch these videos. If people could watch these videos and then and put in the comments. Here's how easy it would be, and I'll make another video on this. Maybe this would be the easiest way to go about it. I was like, whose dog is this? Then I can take those and copy paste them into my tag section afterwards, because I can't do it prior to my video, or else I would. It just doesn't allow me to. I'm on an Android. I don't know why it doesn't let me, but I can only just film. I can't tag my videos. So if y'all can help that way, that'd be amazing. Or if somebody wanted to, you know, have access. I mean, I could link somebody up if I met you, if I talked to you. If anybody wanted to, I could link somebody up with my channel and have them go through and just tag things the right way. That would be fucking ill. Tesla discovered how to harness electricity. Edison discovered how to charge money for that shit. This is damn right. But you know what? I think it goes back a little farther before Tesla. I think this gets into the Tartarian Empire and the Tartar and Aryan. Tartarian. It's fun to say. But I think that empire was already harnessing free energy. I don't know what happened to remove it and to break it. But you know, when we get all that mud flood stuff, I think Tesla is another gatekeeper for people thinking that he discovered something that was going on thousands of years ago, when it was something that was going on only a couple hundred years ago. Like maybe even less than that. There was free energy abound. And then all the places that were free energy buildings that were harnessing etheric energy, they've turned into what is disgusting in this culture, which is churches, banks. You know, these things are what enslaves humanity and people physically and their minds. Religion especially, but look at these religious buildings. People weren't just building that because they believed Jesus was the guy, or Muhammad was the guy out there doing it, or the the temples that these people, like, why are they all look the same? So these people had this one god, his name was Muhammad. The other ones had this dude, the Jesus, or the Yeshua, or whatever, what do they want to call him? And then you've got these Hindus, which aren't even, let's not even say Hindus. Let's go with Hindus. But their temples all look the same. Or I can go to Asia, and their temples look exactly like the temples and the churches everywhere else. They all look the same. They had different religions, but the same temples? No, because there was already one thing prior to that. Why the banks all look the same? There's a lot more going on. So that's my little inlet into that idea. Once again, I think Tesla's a psyop. I'm not saying that what is accredited to him or the ideas are wrong, because I actually have a buddy that I should probably go see tonight. Maybe that's what I'll do. That made a Tesla coil, and I went over to his crib, and he turned on some music, and you get by it, and it was buzzing to the music, and you could touch it. It was fucking awesome. Made a Tesla coil. Maybe I'll go over there. Oh shit! Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I haven't seen him in a long time. I'm gonna go find him, and I'll film it. I'll show you guys. You guys want to see a Tesla coil? Yeah, it's my dude. What's up, Johnny Lange? Jonathan Valentine, what do you mean? Is that what schizophrenic people do? What do you mean? What did I say? I'm a little farther back here, Jonathan Valentine. There's a great video you should watch. Thank you for bringing that word up. It's called Schizophrenic or Shaman, or Schizophrenia or Shamanism, and it's by Terrence McKenna. Schizophrenia or Shamanism. It's a good video. Johnny, people get baffled. You know what? It's fun. It's fun to go to a bar and do it. I mean, it looks like beer to me. It's got little bubbles on top and everything. Cidiel Karchi, how do you start Astro Projects? The easiest way to start doing that, usually most people, you need to learn to lucid dream and be lucid in your dream world first, which is more of a connection to your subconscious. But to do that, what I would do is the wake back to bed method, WBTB. Look that up. Look up all the methods on astral projection. And wake back to bed, I think, is the strongest, because what you do is you set an alarm for an odd hour, say 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. So that way you wake up and your body is still mad tired, but you make your mind awake, and you stay up for a second. You stay up for a couple minutes. And then when you go back to sleep, you focus on keeping your mind awake and your body asleep. And then you're able to basically take your consciousness and your mind and what you are inside and pull it out of your body. And you can start to do things with trying to, while your body feels like there's lead in it, to start to lift your hand up, but you don't lift your hand up, you actually lift your spiritual body out of your physical body. And there's a lot of ways to do it. It depends on your habits and what you do to what would be the best method to try. But look up the astral projection methods and wake back to bed, I think, is one of the greatest ways to do it. And a trick way to do it is to find muscle relaxers. I don't mean to go get muscle relaxer drugs. I mean find things that are relaxant to muscles. So for instance, I can find herbs that are. And I can find something that heightens the mind and relaxes the body. Those two things together give you what would be the capacity to astral project or get out of body. Because there's astral travel and there's astral projection, that's more for the connoisseur to know the difference between astral projection and astral travel. One is to project somewhere. So you could astral project, you could project to a different time. Astral travel would mean literally you just get out of body. You can start walking around your room, look at yourself sleeping there, walk through that door, go outside, walk around the city, but you're going to do it in real time. Projection is, I mean, you're gonna put yourself might across the world, or back into 1200, or you know, or into the future, whatever the fuck. So that there's a slight difference there, but that shouldn't be on too many people's minds when they're just trying to get out of body. Which is where you get the capacity to bring memory through death, and death just means to separate your body and your spirit, your soul, your consciousness. Jonathan Valentine. Oh, when you're talking about how you can project an image from memory, is that what schizophrenics are doing subconsciously? I don't even know why schizophrenia or schizophrenics that word would pop up for you. That would be association to how they do things. I mean, maybe, but there's plenty of powerful people in this world that do things to project futures. I mean, isn't that what they say? Project yourself a future and walk into it. That's what everybody that's powerful does. So maybe everybody's schizophrenic that's very powerful in the world. But you wouldn't. I think that's you know, if you say that, that's, you know what I mean, if you call someone schizophrenic, that's kind of an insult to someone's intelligences. It's like calling somebody bipolar. Like, I say I'm tripolar. I say I'm 360-degree polar, you know? You should have more than one personality. You should have more ways of looking at things. You have different kinds of intelligences. You have a physical intelligence. You have a mental, like a mathematical intelligence. You have a verbal intelligence. You have a sexual intelligence. You have a maybe some people can draw. You have a kinesiological intelligence. How, you know, how some people can move and some people cannot move and can't dance. Those are all intelligences. And the Egyptians, ancient, used to say there's 360, like in a circle. There's 360 different intelligences. Where today you're taught there's one. You got an IQ test. Are you intelligent or not? They're making silly association games. Well, he had a 200 IQ because he made some associations that some rich white dude put on a black and white sheet, and he could make those associations in the same way. That doesn't make somebody intelligent. It just makes somebody capable of just associating things the way somebody else did. It's not. So there are many, many, many different kinds of intelligences, and everyone should be tripolar, or well beyond schizophrenic into shamanistic realms. And I have a very deep place in my heart for those kind of ideas, because Terence McKenna spoke on that. Like I said, go check that video out. And I've known people that were labeled as such that are actually highly evolved, highly intelligent people that just saw things in a different way, that they got labeled as such. And it's like, nah, you're doing them a disservice. City L, you think Tesla's more like a Jesus Masonic thing? Yeah, I mean, the way the Masons really know what Jesus meant. Yeah, but even in there, you still have different views of what the Yeshua or Iosa, or however you want to spell it or say it. There's still different ways of viewing it, depending. You know, it's such an allegory. We're going to do allegory through what it would be symbolically and allegorical towards the skies and what's going on in the planets and things, or are we going to do it through consciousnesses or states of being? I mean, there's lots of ways to break that one down. All right, Johnny. Peace out. Peace out, Roman. Yeah, and there we go. I mean, that's just is more ways of telling people that are extremely hyper focused or hyper aware of things to call it a disability or a dis-ease. And I made a video a long time ago, and I said everyone is on the spectrum. Everyone here that you know is autistic to a degree, because the society breeds autism, or whatever that word means. I don't think autism really exists. I think it's just different expressions and aspects of personality that come out in people from people in different ways. what is autistic to one person is completely normal, you know, like OCD, obsessive compulsive. I gotta go hit the door 3 times before I walk in, spin in a circle. You know, those kinds of things are those are a little different. But you know, there's so much money in labeling things that we have so many disorders. Oh, whose orders were they? I always find that funny. That there's a job right now that you can be a psychiatrist, you can be a shrink, you can be a psychotherapist, right? And the more boxes and definitions they can fill in, the more they can divide things up and say, well, this person has this type of disorder. They have one called ODD right now, oppositional defiance disorder. It means if you don't agree with authority, I like doing that, it's fun, authority, or whatever the standard practice is, then you're oppositional defiant. Really? Defiant? What if what is the opposition is stupid or wrong or ignorant? So if you're against the system, you're defiant? I would hope so. I think Ben Franklin said something about that, didn't he? Unjust, you know, if there's unjust laws, you better break them, because that's not what the system is supposed to, you know. I find that very funny. So, in that sense, all of these words people like to classify people as, it's just another trick, to mind control someone else and take their money and tell them they're wrong or their brain's fucked up. You don't think the way I do, so therefore you're fucking insane. But you should watch out for people that walk around with their eyes that you can see the top and bottom. If you see people that are walking around like that on a regular basis, they're insane. They're something very wrong with them. They need lots of help. They need a hug, is what they need. I wouldn't hug them though, because that might get you in trouble. Those people might fucking geek out on you. That's why Asian people are a lot more trustworthy, because they're very focused. They're looking at something. You know how you look at something and you really want to see what it is? I can be racist as fuck and still give a compliment. See, I'm very good at that. Inferno, the quickest way to improve your flexibility is threefold. I talked about it earlier. Get yourself some voodoo bands. VOODOO bands. Voodoo bands. Kelly Starrett makes them. That is the #1 thing you can do, and then add into it as well some gua sha tools, because you want to start to loosen up the fascia from the muscle, from the tendons, from the ligaments, from the skin. They're all gooed up and gunked up together, so you want to start increase the amounts of lubrication in your body via water and oil, and then start using those tools, especially the voodoo bands. The voodoo band in and of itself, the voodoo band is probably the #1 tool you could have in your bag to fix things. And then, you got the rollers and all of those things. You can, get yourself one of those rollers so you can roll out some knots in your legs and whatever. So did you got that? Let me know. The chrism. Yeah, the chrism, the oil. A lot of people say that the sperm and the oil and the chrism is the anointing oil of the semen going up the spine and lightening up the... If I get into like Santos Bonacci's work, you get the light. I mean, there's a reason that bodily fluids will glow in the dark. And there's a reason that your pineal gland can lighten something up. You can see in the dark. Somebody I was talking to the other day about being able to see with a blindfold on, or see in the dark. When I did a long fast, I could see I could see my room when I was going to bed with my eyes closed when it was dark. I could see it. It was pretty fucking weird. But there's a couple plants that will do that. There's a couple psychoactive plants that will help you do that. man of mallet. Have I spoken about Tourette's? Every time I speak, I'm Tourette's. Don't you think it's funny they call it Tourette's? You know what a turret is? It's a gun that just... Tourette's is a funny one, ain't it? That's a that Tourette's is linked to pretty much the same dilemma as somebody with Alzheimer's. It's a similar thing because it's a neurological thing that can be fixed pretty much the same way. They both can be fixed pretty much the same way, which is rehydrating the brain with water, fasting, headstands, sunshine, movements, and there's a few walnuts and almonds. The oils from walnuts and almonds, as long as they're raw, and you can go ahead and take those raw almonds and put them in water for a day, and so they sprout, and then you eat those. The oils and things in there are very good for the brain. So there's a lot of good oils for the brain, and those are the easiest ways to get it. And you can just get some almond oil. You can do that. You can get some almond oil, eat those, do that. That will fix a lot of the problems. So people that have autism, or people that have schizophrenia, or people that have, like, those two, as well as Tourette's, and as well as Alzheimer's, those are all going to be attributed to pretty much the same thing, which is a dehydrated brain. Your brain should have a lot of water in it. Most people's brain either has not enough water or too much metal, and so that metal ends up becoming if there's an electrical charge going in your brain, it's going to go to that metal every time. You need to remove the metals. So the easiest way to get rid of those metals as well, adding the water and adding more oils. It's fun to see, my friend. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, easiest way to remove them is chelation through like cilantro and different kinds of green herbs, because those things are going to bind to all of the heavy metals and remove them out of your being. Can you use a roller on the breast? You can definitely use it on the underarms. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to use it on the breast. I mean, why not? Sure, go for it. Basically, you just want you're trying to loosen up, like, coagulated cartilage, fats, cancers, things like this. You know, sit in a warm bathtub with some oil and give yourself a breast massage. That's as simple as you can do it, really. Play with your goddamn titties, you know? We all have. I think we said, Maddie, you said you read that we all have what? Tourette's or cancer or autism. I would say pretty much everybody has that. I think most people repress their need, their desire to have Tourette's. If you're standing in a line at a bank for 35 minutes and you don't want to fucking scream, then you're already lost. You're a lost cause. You should at least have that feeling that you want to scream. If you don't want to scream in a library sometimes, you know what I mean? I think it's healthy to have that, like, what the fuck? Inferno, the $1 million point, I've heard that the $1 million point is only like a full-on last resort, that you're actually still getting, like, the semen's still going somewhere. I don't know. I'd read more from Montauk Chia, the multi-orgasmic man, if you haven't read that, but I'm pretty sure that's probably where you got that. Breathing is going to help. The tongue on the roof of the mouth will help. Breathing properly is definitely helpful. Dimension, you got a friend with Tourette's? I mean, I would assume people sometimes look at me and go, that motherfucker is nutcase. He's got Tourette's. He's a fucking goofball. Certainly. But I hear you. I've never full on met someone with, you know, clinically, this fucker right here has got Tourette's. You could look into show business. Look at the people that are comedians. Most comedians are pretty fucked up. A lot of them have really serious mental like handicaps, if we can put it that way. And so their expression is, well, I'm either gonna scream in the streets, or I'm gonna get on here on stage and say this shit. I mean, if you wanted to fix the Tourette's, there's a way to do it, man, for sure. There is. There's things you can take and do, and I think it's like everything I already said. Clay detox baths. What else? The greenery to either smoke. I mean, that's going to be helpful to some degree. Anything that's going to chelation and start to remove heavy metals from the brain and the body. A lot of that is really just heavy metals in the brain. Distilled water is always the course, you know? Let me see what time we're looking at here, y'all. I got probably like half hour more, y'all. Got like 30 more minutes. Maybe a little less than that. Let me see. Yeah, dimension extension it does, because no matter what, it's going to leach a little bit of plastic, but all in all, it's going to be better than. I mean, your choice is to consume a little bit of plastic or consume all of the shit that's coming through your sink, you know, through the pipes. Yeah, when someone is fully multiple personality, like when there's like a split, full-on split, like for me, like I'm just different all the time because I choose to be different all the time. It depends on my environment, depends on if I'm trying to make someone laugh or help someone have a better day, or if I'm just like, you know, sometimes I'm in my own emotions and I'm like, fucking had a bad day or whatever. Like, but some people, there is definitely, I hear you on the spirit possession. I think there's a small number of those, but if you really get keen to it, a lot of people out here are possessed by whatever they're doing on Tuesday at 8 p.m. and they turn that TV on, they are under possession. That's they're channeling a spirit of that energy and that entity, which is, well, what the fuck are they watching? What show is that? And then the other million people that are watching that same show are going to have the same set of influx of what they are. They're going to sit there and just stare. They're going to start breathing. They're going to start breathing really, just staring at it and fucking consuming. And so there's more people that are, there's more people with many personality, like with much personality disorder, than if somebody that actually has what you say, oh, that person is crazy, that person's got personalities and blah blah blah. No, the normal person in society is more fucked up than most of the cats walking through these streets that are like looking all crazy, you know. It is very good, Nita. It's very good to be a goofball. It gets you everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It's a good place to be. I was just having this talk with a friend of mine earlier about, like, how is it, like, you know, you have a bad night or something goes wrong, or you like, you know, like you do something stupid, you say something stupid, or you're like embarrassed or whatever. And she goes, how do you get over that? How do you not, like, how doesn't that bother you today? It's because and it's simple, because there's days that I'm going to be a perfect person for someone, like totally, hundreds of people are going to be like, oh, that was fucking amazing. And there's going to be times that I just don't fit into what they are and I fuck up. And it's like, so I just balance out. It's like, you know what? say la vie. We live and keep living. Like, fuck it up here, fucking fix this over here, I'll fix this, we'll break that, I'll build this. You know, it's a whole kit. It's a whole kit and caboodle. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, sometimes you're helpful, and you know, you could want to be helpful all day, but you're gonna be the fifth chef in the kitchen trying to make a soup. You're gonna fuck that soup up. No matter how many times you want to be helpful. I have this friend that always likes to help, like whatever it is, but gets in the way. Like she'll try to help bag groceries or do something, right? But gets in the way of the process and makes it more difficult. Or if you just let the person do what they're doing, then it'd be done quicker and easier. But wants to be so helpful that ends up becoming harmful. And then you have people that try and do some harm. Actually, like this is here. I'll show you like this. Like as a comedian, you stand on stage and somebody heckles you. They think they're gonna do something harm, and then if you're a good comedian, you just put that behind the back and like, oh fuck. That's the, you know, you just take that shit like, oh, here's some fodder, here's some bullshit, okay, we can play with this, and it becomes actually hilarious and helpful. You know, you could do this in a lot of different systems. Things that look like they're being not right are actually the most right. So I think there's a good way to balance your mind and your being by just going, it is what it is. Everything is as it should be. All the balances are, there is no judgment in nature. Everything's already in balance already, or else you'd be dead. But since nobody dies, here we are. What's next? What's up, ultrasonic? Okay. Yeah, the copper mesh. There you go, man. Everything is reversed. I was talking about this earlier. I was saying, like, people, I think it's too simplistic to say everything's in reverse. I mean, there is a lot in reverse, but I think it's so much of a conundrum that it's just not the way it appears. You can flip things over, but I think it's probably about 83 degrees off, not 90. Not 180 degrees off, but more like 176. Something like that, you know what I mean? I think it's it'd be too simple if it was just always backwards. That would be too simple. Yeah, the dark humor is very, that going back to all this, like somebody asked earlier about like a suicide, and the dark humor is that. You have to have a place in your being for dark humor, because, you know, comedians will talk about shit other people won't talk about. That comedians are healers. Fully, they're like shamans. They go to the dark realms where nobody else goes. They talk about the dumbest shit that nobody else wants to talk about, but it's a real thing. What you want to talk about? What you want to know about? You know, tell people the truth. Just make them laugh, or they'll kill you. Yeah, and I think the dark humor is only a result of the age that we're at in the whole spectrum, right? The whole thing. If we're going to the age of Aquarius, and we're coming out of the Iron Age, we're coming out of the Dark Age, and so that dark age of whatever's going on in this whole universe is you turn that frown upside down. See, you know what I'm talking about. Too many cooks do, yes. Everybody trying to cook up the same shit. That's why there's a lot of things that I don't talk about, because people already been talking about it. You know, I like to give little bits and pieces, but like the flat earth thing and, you know, mud flood shit, like I want to, like, yeah, you say it and it's done, because there's already people out there doing better work than I would be doing on it. I don't have a fucking bunch of laser beams. But you know who does? D Marble went out there. with your boy, and he did a laser beam thing with 2 laser beams across Lake. I don't know fucking which one it was, but he went out there and did that the other day. And they had a whole flat Earth conference in, I think it was in Denver, maybe. Odd came out and they did a laser. Oh, they did a laser beam thing for like, I think a 10-mile stretch. It was pretty fucking awesome. It is Mercury retrograde, yeah. So I had, of course, I had to have a wow out fight with somebody the other day. Fucking absurd. I'm like, and Mercury retrograde, and here we go. But because I'm Mercurian, I just kind of accept it. I'm like, oh, this is what you get. I don't just. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go dig a hole and just sit in it. You know, Mercury retrograde is a fun one. What happens in Mercury retrograde stays in Mercury retrograde. 12/20/2012. I think you're looking for the 21st. Isn't that right, City L? And that's in 12/21/2020. Excuse me, 12/21/2020. Isn't that one? You're talking about when the whole shift. That is like the point. That's when everything just tips over. And if you haven't seen it, what's his name? Norbs and what's that dude's name? Martin Kenny. I don't know. Every time I say it, I want to say Kenny. Martin Kenny. They're doing it. They're doing a video that they're gonna come out with on the equinox of this year. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Let me see what time we're looking at here, y'all. It's almost time. Got a few more moments out here. Yeah, there we go. That's the one. Okay, I got like 10 more minutes, y'all, because I want to catch this skeet car back into town because it's a little drizzly still. It's a little drizzly outside. And who is in here? Who's all up in here tonight? Martin Kenny. There you go, Martin Kenny. Yeah. Do you City L? Do you know who that is? Do you know him and Norbs? And if anybody does, I don't know if any of you play with the computer to make new videos and chop things up, but he did this 3-hour talk on the what is the dude's name? The Sage of Quay? The Sage of Quay, is that right? And he did like a 3-hour video that I think could be chopped up to about an hour and a half. Sage of Quay, thank you. And I think it could be chopped up to about an hour and a half, but it's super high next level, amazing information about all the things he's putting out about the realm and how things work. And so if somebody can't, and even if you can't do that, you should go fucking watch it because it's amazing. It's well worth the 3 hours. The beginning is a little slow, but once he pulls out the model and starts talking, it's very good. There it is. There it is. So if you ain't seen it, go check it out. And Norbs just put out a 2-minute or 3-minute video on what the next video is gonna be on the 21st of December. So he just put out like a little teaser, and it's fucking awesome. You know Martin? Do you know him? Know him? You met him? Or you just know of him? Yeah. And you know who's that other cat that came out? The what's his name? Allegedly Dave. Allegedly Dave, man, he was out here burning the shit up, and I don't know where he been. I ain't seen him in a bit. Like that dude came out on the real shit. This is what I was saying the other day. Like he came out here, he's like, "Yup, the Earth is flat, and yep, I drink my piss." What? And he's super well spoken, awesome dude, and like you see him transition like from balding, fat, and out of shape to just balanced out proper. And on that mud flood thing, of course, Amanda. Yeah, the mud flood, have fun with that. I don't know who you've been following on that, but I've put it out there. Conspiracies Are Us is amazing. Mud flood, that person is amazing. Man, there's so many, but when you get into their videos, look in the description, and you'll be able to link up with like 5 or 6 more people that are putting really, really good work out there. Flat Earth British, thank you. Yeah, it's funny. The fasci thing is it's intense stuff. Well, if you're interested in that Beyond Fluid and you've never seen it, go check out my video from about two Decembers, a year and a half ago, a little more than a year and a half ago, and I did a series of 3 videos. They were all about magnetics, the staff, why kings wear crowns, the crystals, and a bunch of things that deal with not the fascia, because I didn't, but it was talking about their staff, their scepter. I don't know if you look up my name in scepter, maybe there's 3 videos in a row that really dig into that pretty deep. But yeah, I like the thing with the fascia is interesting, because when you consider a fascist and your fascia in your body, I was saying earlier, like I wanted to make a video on that, because I could probably, once I started thinking about it, there's probably going to be some interesting connections. You met him virtually. I virtually know everyone. I did. You know what? I dig the shit out of Martin Kinney, but he be pushing that vegan shit a little bit. He little, you know, everybody got pieces of the puzzle, but he slow down with that veganism, homie. If you could ever hear me, you gotta, you know, when someone specializes in one aspect of research, they kind of forget about the other shit, and then they just like jump on board with, oh, vegan's the way to go. Now he's gonna hurt himself if he keeps with that. So, stay woke, family. Stay woke. Veganism is another trap, and you should know this. So who else up in here? And, oh, thank you for all the thumbs up, everybody. There's more thumbs than our people. I like that. That's cool. Makes a brother feel good out here. Actually, I don't really. It's not for me, as always. So when these videos pop up, these little kids, these little children out here, when they be looking for something to watch, they'll click on the one that people like. You always do business with people you like. Unless you really need something. Then you just... Well, fuck it. Fuck it. I need to eat. I'm going to do business with McDonald's. I'm going to go eat some McDonald's. When's the last time y'all ate, like, Burger King or McDonald's or something? When's the last time you guys went and did the dirty with yourself and ate garbage? When's the last time? Oh, Dave came out with some new shit? Okay, I'll check it out. Familia means Slavs. You're gonna have to break that down for me. I don't see it. What etymological resources are you using? What's the connection? Ooh, soybean oil French fries. That's not that bad. Family means slaves, huh? Well, I mean, family is familiar. Slaves are Slavic. Slavic is a region. Doesn't have to do with. So I don't know. I mean, I'll take word for it now, but let's do a little bit of deeper research on that. Unless you can make a quick connection for me. The fat vegans. A lot of vegans out here, man. Oh shit, is this? Yeah, I never, well, if that is so, then fuck it. Then what up, family? Because, slaves just mean Slavic, so. I'm very while I'm not a prideful person, so I think pride is a very shitty thing to have. I think it's a low vibration. I enjoy the if my heritage happens to be Slavic or slaves, big up the slave community, slaves and kings and queens and all that shit. I'm the whole tarot deck. It means whatever you like it to mean. That's right. Yeah, if they would just drink their own piss. If they would just. Let me see what time we're looking at here. All right. I can still got. Yeah, I'll give you guys like 6 o'clock or so. 6 o'clock in the drop top. Cruising the streets. Yeah, I like it. It means whatever you want it to mean. I enjoy that. It's nice to internalize and like, hey, you can mean it. Well, hey, somebody can call you anything. You can take it any way you want. But there is that. I always go back to the movie Hero with Jet Li. And when he gets to the king at the end, and they have this conversation, that's a very important conversation. I like it. It's interesting. Are you on the PP today? I had some PP yesterday. Taking that wee, taking that urine. All right. What's next? It's a little too salty today. Well, there you go. It's kind of like checking out your fluids to see what a mess you made of yourself yesterday. City El Karchi. I if I haven't drank piss in a while and I've been eating unhealthy, I do not drink my first piss because it's just too much. I'll do distilled water for the day and then drink later in the day, and then the next day I will. But right away, that's just like, you know, I'll swish it around. I'll do like I'll do a mouthful and swish it around and spit it out. So I'll get what I can underneath the tongue. But yeah, them salty days. And I think for introducing people, let me ask you guys this: if it wouldn't be too difficult to do, if you could, let me know how many people have you shown the way of the orange, or at least distilled water. But more importantly, how many people in here have shared with someone else? Did they drink piss and then someone else started doing it? Have you ever encouraged someone to drink their own piss? Have you ever shown someone and said, hey, go read this, check this out, it's fucking good, and then they actually did it? And I'll ask you that versus how many times has somebody like, you're fucking weird, why you drink your piss, that's fucking nuts, that's disgusting. Dimension extensions, 2 people, that's crazy, that's a lot, man. That's like even convincing one person to even consider their own, you know, that's excellent, man. You know, thinking about it in my personal life, I don't know how many people, I think about it here, like I know a lot of people on here like, yo, I watch your videos and I start drinking my piss, like, but in my personal life out here, I don't know. Not that many. let me move over a little bit here, because there's a little drippy drop from the top of my head here. Okay, there we go. Drinking in front of him. I've done this in front of plenty of people, to the chagrin of some people. But I've yeah, some people just ain't ready for it, you know. Some people are just like, it's not even, some people ain't even worth trying. But for me, I just really don't give a fuck. I've drank my piss in front of strangers, like have a conversation and then talk about something, and it was somehow the conversation will go towards food or eating or, you know, something, and then they're like, really? I'm like, you don't believe me? Watch. I wonder in the like, how many of those people that this is a little kid over here. He's just screaming at me through the window. Puss. Haha, puss. Drink that puss. Jordan, you tried it, never. Yeah, some people just, it's this it's this thing. I think Savan Bomar said this, but not in response, not in accordance with drinking urine, but just in the sense of knowledge that if I walked up to someone and I had a bag full of money, $1 million in a bag, and I tried to hand it to someone, if I handed somebody, like, got a handful of diamonds, I got a handful of, like, just a bag full of money, and I tried to give it to someone, they would go, what the fuck, why are you trying to give this to me? Did you steal that? They're going to be suspect of it. Like, why would you just hand me this? Why would you tell me this? Why would you give me this knowledge? Why would you give, because we live in a society that no one trusts anyone, because pretty much as a whole in capitalism, in this whole society, you can't trust anything anyone's saying, because everyone's just trying to sell you something. So they know if you're gonna give something away for free, well, what do I got to do for that? And I think that's very funny. That it's pretty much the same thing. Like I could show you how to hear you. I could tell you how to do it. What do you mean? Drink my piss? What do you think? Wait, what? Why would that work? Here's $1 million. It's the same thing. I think it's you're giving somebody like the golden ticket. You know, the golden ticket. I don't want to know. There's no way it could be that easy. If it was that easy, they would tell us. What do you mean they would tell you? They run a business. They don't gotta tell you. They don't want to tell you. They'll tell you the exact opposite of what the truth is. The doctors would tell me this. No, the doctors wouldn't have a job if they told you could drink your piss. Yeah, Inferno, for sure. Yeah, you can't, man. Yeah. Puss juice? Hey, as far as I know, for me, puss juice is soma. I'm in requirement of some puss juice soon. To mention is that your landlord opened a bottle of your aged urine. That's weird. What the fuck is your landlord doing when you're aged urine? Like, don't do. Just be like, no, that's ammonia. That's to clean with. That's the cleaner. You gotta put that shit in the special jars and shit, man. That's fucking funny. Please don't open that. Don't do. He's your next door neighbor. That's the worst. That's the worst. Having your landlord as your next door neighbor. I had that one time. It's awful. It's awful. Because then you always got to be like on a professional. Like you can't. There's nothing. Yeah. There's you can't be yourself. You got to be like, well, I'm your tenant. No. Maybe always like maybe kind of just looking over there, because it's their property, right? So they're just kind of looking over the fence, looking over the thing, trying to. Are they breaking my shit? What the fuck are they doing? Yeah. Landlords are fucking... It's funny because I've had a landlord lived overseas, which did nothing about fixing anything, and then I had a landlord that was next door that was just... Yeah. There's really no good way to go about that. Age during ulcerated tumors? I suppose so. I don't see why not. I mean, the age urine is pretty much the ultimate cleansing system. You put it on your skin. I don't see why not. It's good for scars and bruises and, you know, just upgrade, you know, getting really, as these people out here, you know, vegan and alkaline. It's very alkaline. When you get alkaline, go drink some aged urine. Oh man, that's a great question. I'm somewhere in the middle on that, man. That's a really tough one. Because there is this really interesting connection when you get into the mud fossils and the mud flood and were there giants and what did it say about... like, I know that a lot of these stories are told allegorically, in a sense, but then you find kind of... There's pretty much evidence of giants and different beings being amongst us at different times. And so... I would side with Jay Dreamers on this. If y'all don't know who Jay Dreamers is, go fucking sub to his channel. He does really great presentations. He's very organized with what he does. He's always got something kind of planned out. But I'd side with what he does. I think the realm and the world that we live in is a lot stranger than fiction. I used to believe it was all just astrotheological too, but I'm kind of, you know, now if it was all astrotheological, that doesn't, what I like is that doesn't discount the fact that literally the embodiment of what is the Leo could be a human or a giant. The embodiment of that sign could be here. The embodiment of a Gemini. How do you know I'm not Gemini? How do you know I'm not actually Mercury? You know what I mean? Like, how do I know you're not actually Aquarius? But now we could do all these other, you know, the 12 and the 12 around the 1 and all of this stuff. They might have actually taken physical form. That energy system might have actually been a giant being. Seems plausible to me. What's up, Zetetic Jin? Yeah, Martin Lidke. Yeah, he's good, man. He's good. For me, they're like, for people just getting into this, I wouldn't directly put someone onto his work because he gets a little more specialized and it's a little lengthy. You kind of gotta be interested in it. So for people that are into it, then yeah, definitely watch his shit. But then there's some people that kind of get to the point a little quicker. I would go that route first. And another one is Rebel Without a Pause. That he's really good. But then there's some of them. It's so funny because there is they have quite an accent that if you're not interested in the subject already and you can't understand them, it throws an extra wrench into it. But I enjoy them. I hear them. Ra and Horus are the same thing. No? I'm gonna go with no. I'm just gonna say no. Beyond Fluid, Rita Jean Moran has some interesting... Cool. Yeah, I would say I think this. I think most things, the way we've been taught, most things that are taught as history are actually false. And most things that were taught as these books are fiction are actually the real. I think because there's so many stories, there's so many books written, and these factual non-fiction books just seem to be, the more and more you look at it, like, nah, this is actually wrong, this is dog shit. You start reading these fantasy books, you're like, well, this actually sounds a little more plausible. All right, y'all. I'll give you guys. This is the final 10 minutes I can give you, because I have to answer I'll give you guys, no, fuck it, I'll give you guys 5 minutes. I can't give you 10. Five more minutes. Closing comments, questions, or remarks. So if you have anything good to add, or you need a question answered, I'm happy to do that right now. That's 5 minutes. You hear them bells? Ooh, maybe next time I'll take you to Nicolas Cage's tomb. It's right there. Everybody know Nick Cage, right? Well, thank you, sir. Everybody know Nicolas Cage, though, right? The actor. His tomb is like literally like I could just walk there right now, but it's a little moist outside, so I don't know if I want to make that walk right now. Is there a technique to see through clothes? Just close your eyes, visualize it. You want that Superman vision? Yeah. The funny thing about that, yeah, there it is. Some figgy pudding right there. Figgy pudding. The funny thing about the church's organs and the bells, those things were originally made to heal people, and now they've been used as a cattle calling and to herd people together and to mind control them for an hour and then play one song on the organ to get somebody focused and go, oh, this is the place. And then they hear for like another hour of just somebody talking dog shit to mind control them. Before, what the churches were used for and what the organs and the bells were used for was something wildly different to heal people, you know? It was the sound that was used as a healing creative force when it was 432 to turn it to 440. And even if it isn't a healing thing, 432, right? You're going to go feel like you got healed at church because of the music they played once or twice. But you're going to go, oh no, it's because I believe in Jesus and the Bible and the priest. When all they were doing is controlling your mind to believe some falsities. Music is still good. Being blasted by a sound weapon. I'm a sound weapon. Look at, watch. Om Namah Shivaya. Yeah. Sound weapons everywhere. Do some live model drawing. You'll see through clothes in no time. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? It's that's the interesting thing when you see these chicks out here all dressed up all provocative and whatever. They're like, yeah, you good looking or whatever. But then you see these chicks, they kind of wear clothes that are not revealing, but you can see what they look like underneath, and that's super sexy. I find that very sexy. I find chicks that dress a little bit more conservative, just a little more conservative, you know. I don't want, you don't got to wear baggy shits to cover everything up. I mean, express yourself, but I find that kind of sexy. Leaves a little bit of something to the imagination, and, just slutting yourself out, trashing it up. I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. I don't mind. I'm a slut myself. I'm a hoe up sometimes, but you even though them Catholics, yeah. Once you see that cross around your neck, or around their neck, I tell you this: if they got a gold Christian cross around their neck, she won't get choked. It's just a fact. It's a fact. As far as I can tell, as far as I can see, based upon my initial research into the subject, they like a good choking. Yeah, they hijacked it. They hijacked it and co-opted the healing sounds. This is what they did. Exactly. They took something that was healing and turned it into something that was, you got to pay to be healed. It's like, that's like, in the book, The Republic, Plato wrote the book, The Republic, and he said, once anybody starts to pay teachers, it will ruin the whole art of teaching. Once you pay a doctor, it ruins the art of healing. You know what I mean? In the sense of, like, you go in there and you get a prescription, you pay all this cash to get a little white pill. Like, yeah, you can donate to healers, you can help healers and you know, in return, donate back to them some energy, but, you know, because that was just like a thank you. But the way they do it now, teaching and healing, nah, that ain't the way it's supposed to be. Nita Neal, you asking me? You said rat. You heard you can't drink Archon? No, that's not true. You just shouldn't drink a lot of it. You should use it in very small quantities because it's very powerful. Go check out Wiley Schmidt. Go check out. I think your girl, the really pretty one that's got red hair, but she's like 50 or something, but she looks like she's 20. Monica Schwitt. I think she did one on Archon recently, and David Phillips, who I need to check up on. I haven't seen him in a while. I've used it. I don't. It's not all the time. It's not something you know. You don't use the high power shit all the time. Inferno Scorpios. For me, some of my greatest lovers have been Scorpios, but personality-wise, we don't link up too well. Geminis and Scorpios, personality-wise, is not the greatest, but once you remove the clothes, yeah, Scorpios are where it's at. But I'm not. I don't discriminate. I like all marks. All right, City. All right, Nita. Virgos like to get choked. I didn't say Virgos. I said if you wear a fucking. I said if you wear a Christian cross on your neck. Was this? You want to check it out? I'll show you. Oh, take a shot. Pretty fresh, right? No, it wasn't. I don't know. I had these on just because let me take these motherfuckers off. Give me a second here. No. Woo! Yeah. Danger, Will Robinson. The guy's spinning out over there, his lights flashing, all sorts of shit going on. Check it out, y'all. I gotta get off here in a second. But no, I just ordered this from some company, but it's super fresh, huh? I like it so much that it's on the back and it's on the inside too. Yeah, put this up, I turn into something else completely. So, yeah, it is super fresh. It is super fresh. I know this. But check it out, y'all. I gotta get the fuck out of here. As usual, I do let y'all know if you do have a little leftover change in your couch or in your pockets or in one of your PayPal accounts, you can always feel free to forward me, pay that happiness forward through some currency. You can always do that if you'd like. PayPal.me/TsarXen, and at Cash App, which is actually cheaper, I think. I don't think it costs. I think it costs more to send through PayPal. But you can go to Cash App and do a $sign and then TsarXen. And in fact, if you go to some of my old videos, there's a code you can put in that will give you $5 for free just for doing it. So you can actually make money sending me money. Crazy, right? And if you don't want to, you can't do that, that's fine. But do make an effort to go pet a fucking puppy. What's up, Logan? Go pet a puppy, or go find yourself a koala bear or possibly a panda. Those are going to be cool. And if you can't find those kind of animals, I don't know, what are you guys into? Go find yourself something fluffy and go play with it. Or at least high five your neighbor or something. But as always, have a beautiful day. Do amazing things. Be creative. And if you can't do that, take a nap and enjoy your sleep. We'll talk soon, y'all.